I got a question for you. What is your truth?
Well, I think
It doesn't matter
What your truth is. Nah, I'm just kidding. Hold on. Before you get mad, before you get upset, let's bring it back. We're going to talk about what the real truth is on Only Friends. All right, so listen. I know some of y'all are hot. Like, you can't tell me. You don't tell me what my truth is, Pastor Jeff. I got you. Don't trip. We're going to hold it down. We're going to make it make sense right now. So listen, guys. Before we even get started on truth, right? I'm going to tell you a quick story. So I remember it was this young lady. Well, I mean, yeah, she was a young lady. She came to my wife and she wanted to just grow in her faith, right? She just wanted to be close with God. She wanted to have good friendships. She wanted to be around me and my wife and my family. She actually started coming around with me when my wife was pregnant with my daughter, Sarai. And I remember she would be at my house all the time. So I used to work at night. I was a janitor. And Monday through Friday, she would be at my house. Friday nights, I would always come in and it would be like baked cookies coming in because that's all they did until I got home. Well, as time progressed, there was one moment where I stopped hearing her name. And I started asking my wife, like, hey, have you talked to such and such? And she said, no, now that you said it, like I haven't talked to her in about 2 weeks. And I was like, that's interesting. And so I said, hey, maybe you should reach out to her because something don't feel right. Something feels a little fishy. And so she said, okay. She reached out to her. Oh, I'm busy. And every time she said she was busy, it would be like an hour or two later, we would go on Instagram and on her stories, she'd be popping bottles. She hanging out with some random people that we've never heard her talk about. And so we were like, oh, okay, you're busy. Interesting. We weren't offended by it. We were just like, hey, maybe she's starting to come to her own. She's satisfied with what we've given her. Cool. Come to find out, it was a lot more going on within her. And I remember one day she was like, hey, I want to come hang out with you guys. Hey, I want to come chill. So I said, yeah, come through. And just me, I'm a natural challenger of the process. And so I asked her a question. I said, hey, how come every time we try to link with you, you always give us an excuse? You always tell us that you're not available, but we see you hanging out with random people. Now, granted, you do what you want to. You're a grown adult. But you also told us that you wanted to be closer to God. That's not leading you closer to God. So then I asked her, I said, so let me ask you this question. So I just started asking her questions. She said, Jeff, you know what? This is my truth, and I'm going to live my truth. And I said, let me ask you this last question. And I said, I'm done. We could just chill. I said, does your truth align with what you said you were trying to become, which was a better child of God? Simple question. And she kind of put her head down. And I said, hey, pick your head up. I don't want you to feel shame. I said, I want you to understand that God really loves you to have somebody in your life to tell you the truth, not your truth. So let's jump right in real quick. It's Proverbs 27:6, and this is in the Passion Translation. It says this: you can trust a friend who wounds you with his honesty, but your enemies pretend flattery comes from insincerity. Interesting, right? The truth is greater than your truth. I get it. We live in a day and age now where they say, live your truth, girl. You got to go ahead, girl. You live your truth, right? But what if your truth is the very thing that's causing you the damage that you're trying to heal from? What if your truth doesn't align with the Word of God? Then is it really truth or is it a fable? Is it truth or is it something that's a hindrance and a crutch that's upon you? I just want you guys just to grab that one thing because we're talking about only friends. Do you have a friend that is willing to tell you the truth even though they know you will be mad at them? See, I have one of my best friends. His name is Larry Dorn. There's been times where I'll call him and I'm upset about something or I'm frustrated about something and he'll say, I get it. but what about your part? And I'm like, what you mean? But bro, like, he's like, I get your feelings. I get how you feel. And your feelings are valid. But what about your part? What are you going to do on your end to do better? And that always challenges me because it always makes me have to go to another level, whether it's to be a better father, to be a better friend, to be a better husband, to be a better employee, or even just to say, you know what, just to be a better man across the board. See, I think a lot of times that we get into places and we cause a lot of harm to ourselves because we start believing other people's truth and we want to say it's our truth because it appeases to what is comfortable to us. We're not here to be comfortable. We're here to grow. The only way you can grow is unless some pain happens, unless some pressing happens. And I want you guys just to grab this. The Bible tells us certain things, not to just say, you know what, here you go, you're great, you're awesome, but it's also to say, let's cut those things off of you that shouldn't be a part of you. And see, we noticed with my wife's friend, the reason why she was doing what she was doing was because she isolated herself. A lot of times we isolate ourselves because we don't want to hear the truth. A lot of times we pull away from people and we say, oh, I'm just doing me. But in all actuality, you're not doing you. You're making you a lot worse. I want us to read this verse, and it comes from Proverbs 18:1, and it says, whoever isolates himself seeks his own desire. He breaks out against all sound judgment. That's crazy how like the word is already ahead of what our behavior is. Whoever isolates himself seeks his own desires. Have you noticed, since we've been in lockdown, since we've been a part of COVID-19 and everybody had to be isolated, everybody's been seeking their own desires. Everybody's been seeking what pleases them. And now all of a sudden we don't know who to believe because everybody has been seeking their own knowledge. I want you guys to grab this. A good majority of our mistakes we make come from not listening to wise instruction. I know me personally. I've had friends, I've had family, I've had mentors all tell me something. I'm like, yeah. You know, all right, yeah. Or you say, I hear you. Yeah, I hear you. My uncle used to have this saying. He said, you hear me, but are you listening? There's a difference between hearing and listening. And he gave this example. He said, if we're driving down the freeway or if we're driving down the street and somebody says, hey, watch out for that cow. And you like, what? Man, whatever. And you just kind of look back like, you're going to probably run into the cow and cause an accident. But if I'm listening, when somebody says, hey, watch out, you go, skirt, you're going to slow down. Why? Because you listen and you apply. Just hear, and if you just kind of, whatever, there's a difference between hearing and listening. Are you listening to the instructions that have been given to you by your teachers? Are you listening to the instructions that have been given to you by your parents? Are you listening to the instructions that have been given to you by the word of God? Are you listening to the instructions of your friends when they told you like, hey, stop dating that girl, bro. You know she ratchet. Or what about that dude where they like, girl, you need to stop messing with him. You know he ain't no good. You didn't listen. And now your heart is broken. We walk away from wise instructions, but then we want to blame other people. We can't blame other people for the decision that we made. I'd rather have somebody be honest to me than to have somebody next to me that will be willing to throw me under the bus when pressure hits. I'm going to say that again. I'd rather have somebody honest to me that's going to look me in the eyes and say, Jeff, I love you, but you're wrong. And this is why you're wrong. And I want you to be better. You're better than that. There's so much more in you than to have somebody smile at me in my face while I have broccoli in my teeth and my hat is all jacked up, than for somebody to just say, you know what? Hey, Jeff, you may want to get that thing out your teeth. You may want to adjust your shirt. You got some wrinkles going on, bro. You shouldn't walk out the house like that. That may not be okay for you. You know what I mean? Like, you got to have those type of friends. You need the friends that'll be like, girl, you know, you always cute. But that outfit, though, let's try to switch it up a little bit. But do you? If you feel comfortable, do you? You need the real friends, not the friends that'll just let you just walk out and go under the bus. The last one is this. Their flattery could be a mirage of their insecurity. I'm going to say that again. Their flattery can just be a mirage of their insecurity. If you have a friend that always gasses you up, that was like, come on, girl, okay, I see you. You need those. Don't get me wrong. You need those. But you also need the friend that after they gas you, they'll also tell you the truth. You cannot have a friend that all they do is always applaud you, because then you'll never grow. We want to grow. We want to be better. We want to be great the way that God created us to be. He said he made us in his image and in his likeness. If he made us in his image and our likeness, then that means that we got greatness in us and we should be acting like it. And I don't want you guys to walk away from this watching it on your phone or watching it on your iPad and just as an ordinary another sermon. If you hear nothing else that I tell you today, you have greatness in you. And surround yourself around with great people. You were called to be an eagle, not a seagull, right? Eagles fly high, they're rare, they fly at a capacity that most birds can't fly. Their claws are bigger because they can grab bigger things. Seagulls can only grab they only have little paws, they have little fins. They don't have claws that can grab massive fish. God has called you to grab massive things to be great. So listen, family. Surround yourself with real friends, not fake friends. No more fake love. No more weak friends. No more just applause. We want friends that are going to make us and push us to be diamonds. We want friends that are going to make us, to break us and build us back up to say, listen, I had to break that off of you so you can be better because I knew there was something better in you. So listen, if you guys have any questions, if there's topics that you guys want us to preach on, if you're like, hey, I have a hot topic, we want you guys to come to us so we can help you through that. We're going to be in Only Friends for another 2 weeks. I'm excited for our next one called The Line. You don't want to miss out on that. And I want you guys to just lock in. Make sure you go into the comment section so you can get these gift cards and be prepared. October 27th, we're back live, baby. That's right. You heard me. October 27th, we're back live, and you don't want to miss out because it's going to be what? Popping. Love y'all. Have a fire night. Peace.